Hello, I'm Lauren Borderkins and I'm going to discuss attachment theory and how it's related to postpartum depression. Attachment theory was developed by British psychologist John Bowlby and American-Canadian psychologist Mary Ainsworth in the late 1980s, early 1990s. It focuses on attachment between child and caregiver, between separation, deprivation, and bereavement. Attachment theory is important because they believe that an individual's behavior in future relationships is influenced by attachment beginning at infancy. The goal is to obtain a secure attachment, which is warm, intimate, and continuous. If you're following along in the PowerPoint, slide 3 has an attachment theory model where it shows variances of avoidance and anxiousness. There are secure attachments, resistant or ambivalent attachments, avoidant attachments, and disorganized attachments. You may also hear people describe anxious ambivalent or anxious avoidant attachments. This shows the varying degrees in what's the components of the different attachments. Now, what is postpartum depression? Well, the staff at the Mayo Clinic described postpartum depression as a complication after giving birth in which the mother feels a very severe and long-lasting form of depression. It is not a flaw of the person, it is not a characteristic of the person, and it is not normally something that they can control either. It is not an inherent quality of the person. It is a condition that women can experience after giving birth. So is postpartum depression common? Yes. Researchers from the National Institute of Psychobiology in Israel, along with Drs. Whiffen and Johnson, noted psychologists, have found that women who are diagnosed with postpartum depression is in the teens, and the average being 13% were diagnosed. And almost half of postpartum women get the blues, and the blues consist of various depressive symptoms such as sadness or tiredness. So what causes postpartum depression? The same researchers from the National Institute of Psychobiology from Israel observed and surveyed women in a maternity ward and found that women who were experiencing postpartum depression had a history of mental illness, whether that be through personal or family, and they also experienced hormonal factors during their third trimester in pregnancy. Nagoya University researchers found that half of the women diagnosed with postpartum depression experienced depressive symptoms before and during their pregnancies. Another factor is the perceived lack of support from the mothers, whether it be from family members or their partner or spouse. They feel as though they're not receiving the support that they feel like they need. So are attachment theory and postpartum depression related? Yes, the mother-child bond is affected by the mother's disposition. And University of New York Psychology Department researchers found that dismissive mothers were more likely to get angry with their babies. Also, an attachment with one's partner is going to influence the mother-child bond as well. But there are some factors that attachment theory misses in dealing with postpartum depression, and that would be social and economic. On the social aspect, mothering is seen as a very private action, where father participation is often seen as voluntary and mother participation is often seen as obligatory. In the economic realm, financial anxiety can increase depressive symptoms. This is something that any psychology counselor will tell you. Mothers who are also obligated to work for financial support will have a disconnect as well because they won't be able to be around their baby as much as they would, and then they have this perceived inability to care for their child that increases their depressive symptoms. Now, how can attachment theory help postpartum depressed mothers? Education is one, and counseling is another. Australian sociology professor Mira Crouch found that increased mother-child contact actually decreases crying in the baby, which will in turn decrease depressive symptoms in the mother, along with decreasing stress and anxiety. So educating women about attachment and how it actually will help diminish their depressive symptoms will be very helpful. Individual and couples counseling are what psychologists Drs. Whiffen and Johnson suggest for mothers who are going through postpartum depression. They feel that attachment theory can help in emotionally focused therapy, or EFT, which promotes secure attachment. Because attachment theory has a lot to say about our individual behaviors and secure relationships, it is important that mothers who are experiencing postpartum depression seek help through education and counseling in order to repair the mother-child bond. We can also look at attachment theory or think about attachment theory through biblical terms. In Exodus 2, we know the story of Moses, and we understand that his mother hid him, and then the Pharaoh's wife found him crying and decided to take him home. And she had one of her servants go find a nurse for him. And the servant brought Moses' mother to be the nurse. So Moses' mother was able to nurture him and care for him and create a secure attachment with him to be his mother in a time of need. And we can think, would Moses have been the same person if his mother had not been there to form that attachment at infancy? Would he have been the same person to free the Israelites and lead God's people? It's just something to think about. And God tells us in Isaiah 66:13, "As a mother comforts her child, I will comfort you." And this is an inspiration to us to comfort mothers. It is a verse of God's love for us, but we can also share that love with mothers who are experiencing postpartum depression. And these mothers can also look to that verse to know that God loves them and is caring about them and wants them to feel comfort in their time of need. Thank you for allowing me to present information to you on attachment theory and postpartum depression. I hope I was able to give you a better understanding of attachment theory and how it can help in relation to women experiencing postpartum depression. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at lmborderkins@liberty.edu. Thank you very much and have a happy Thanksgiving.